So I have gotten a lot of requests to do a cooking show. So many of you enjoyed the cooking segments that I do in my movie reviews that you want to see more about easy cooking that you can do in your home without having to be a professional chef, without breaking your bank account. So this series is for you. Hi, my name's Justin. I'm a videographer, entertainer, and I love to eat. I'm not a classically trained chef, so believe me when I say that the things I show you here So, for my first episode, let's teach you about a very simple Japanese food known as the rice ball. This simple little item has a deep history in Japanese culture and is insanely easy to make, but you rarely see people here in the US make them. Why is that? Well, from my conversations with people about this subject, I found that people are more nervous about maybe adding the wrong ingredient, doing something wrong, or doing something that's not traditional when they create this. And that's not ignorance on their part. That actually shows a great deal of respect that they have for the culture and for the food that they're trying to recreate. I used to feel the exact same way myself. So the recipes that I show you here are my effort to recreate these dishes the way that people have been doing their entire lives, the people who make these foods. And I think that the rice ball is a great place to start. It's known as onigiri or omusubi in Japan, and it's a great lunch item. It packs very well and is a healthy and inexpensive food. Most rice balls that you find will actually have a sort of filling in them, which makes sense why the US version of Pokemon used jelly donuts for their version. So let's start with the rice. Now rice is extremely easy to cook, but once again, people who have never made it before are afraid that they might get something wrong or burn it or something. Trust me, nothing could be simpler. Now you're going to need to use an oriental sticky rice for onigiri. In fact, you'll be using this type of rice for almost every type of Japanese cooking that you can imagine. So just go to the grocery store and go to the oriental aisle. Inevitably they will sell this kind of rice, and you will use it a lot. So don't worry about it going bad. As long as you keep the top sealed tight, it will keep. Now, how to cook it? Well, so I'm not repeating myself from my Sakigake Otokujuku movie review. Let's see what I said there. To make Japanese steamed rice, rinse the rice several times to get the starch out of it. If you're using a Japanese rice cooker, then just start it and walk away. If you're using just a pot, then add 2 cups of rice to 4 cups of water. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. Making just 1 cup of rice, then just use 2 cups of water. Get the water boiling, then add the rice. Stir it for a bit and then put on the lid. Set it to simmer and don't lift the lid. It will cook, trust me. It will take about 20 to 25 minutes. Once your rice is done, take some of it out and put it on a plate to cool off. Then fix yourself a small bowl of warm salt water. Don't put in too much salt, but don't skimp on it either, because this will add a light salty flavor to the rice and will keep your hands from being all sticky ricey. After the rice is cooled to a warm state, get your hands wet with the salt water and get a small amount of the rice, maybe 1/4 cup or so. Then make a hole in the rice for a filling. Feel free to add more rice if you want a bigger, heartier onigiri. As for fillings, the sky's the limit. I like to use tuna fish with a little bit of mayo, whereas some people like something sweeter, like a single maraschino cherry. Some more traditional fillings are things like salmon and umeboshi plum, which is a sour plum, but honestly, rice balls can accept almost anything. To add a filling, take a small amount of it and place it into the divot that you made, and cover it up with the rice. Now we're going to make a triangle shape here. In all honesty, you could make it any shape, but the triangle is a good shape for eating. Hold your hands like a V and form the rice into a triangle by moving it around and around in your hand. Press it on the sides gently to make them flat, and form the edges with your other hand. Don't press too hard on it, but give it enough pressure that it will hold its shape. When you're done, you should have something that looks like this. If yours comes out a little lopsided, don't worry, it'll still taste good. Now, let's talk nori. Nori is a kind of seaweed and it's very nutritious. Now some people think, ew, seaweed. Yeah, well, it does have a little bit of a smell of the sea, but it doesn't taste or smell like fish, and it adds a nice saltiness to whatever food it's put in with. Give it a try the way I'm going to use it here. I don't think you'll be disappointed. We're going to take a strip of nori that we got in the Oriental market and place a strip like this. Some people like more nori and like to get big pieces and fold it, or even multiple pieces. It's all to your taste. Now if you're going to be taking these out on a trip, like to work or to school or on a picnic, then may I suggest that you wrap the rice in a piece of wax paper first, and the nori separately, so that the nori doesn't get all mushy from the wetness of the rice. Well, and in case you're worried about opening up a pack and not being able to finish it all for your onigiri, well, it makes a great snack for movies. Onigiri is really a great food. You can have it for a quick lunch, you can make it part of the meal by adding some soup to it, or you can have it as a breakfast item or even a late night snack. It's quick, easy, healthy, and it will not break your bank. So, thanks for watching, and keep me informed with comments and pictures of your own onigiri successes. If you have any suggestions or a request for something in particular, well, let me know that too.